Let's forget about the ego.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start now. One, two, three. Assalamu alaikum. So today we're gonna talk about climate harmony, uniting for a resilient planet. So today with us we have Sadiq, me, Farid, OP, Avinash, and Alip.
So to start on with the abstract, we have the climate harmony integrates the social, economic, and environmental aspects to encourage collaboration in the battle against climate change. We envision a world in which social equity, resilience, renewable energy, and sustainable conduct will enable everyone to live in peace and prosperity.
Alright, so to move on with that, we have introduction. So this is the Sustainable Development Goals, so also known as the SDG, set by the UN in 2015, aims to tackle poverty and protect the planet, and ensure prosperity by 2030. Climate change possesses a significant global challenge demanding innovative solutions and collaborations. Climate Harmony Uniting for a Resilient Planet emphasizes collective actions to reduce climate impacts and enhance resilience. International cooperation is crucial, driven by the understanding of shared climate risk. Investigating climate variables provides key insights. This study urgently addresses climate threats and advocates the resilience through climate harmony, stressing the need for unified approaches to combat climate change and secure a sustainable future. So to move on to that, we have the literature review. So the literature review context talks about Africa faces rising temperatures increasing by at least 0.5%, 0.5 uh, in Celsius in the past century and predicted to climb further, making it particularly vulnerable to climate change. IPCC's fifth assessment report highlights Africa's susceptibles with the effects of project to be more severe, especially in the region like Madagascar. Socio-economy and environmental circumstances intensify Africa's vulnerability, impacting ecosystems, food security, and water availability. Urgent needs to urgent need for adaptations and mitigation strategies, prioritizing funding for emission reduction, sustainable agriculture, and climate resilience infrastructure to avert severe climate change effects. So the contextual analysis will talk about the rising temperatures worldwide driven by greenhouse gas emission aggravates the greenhouse effects causing temperature increases. Land use changes include deforestation and urbanization release stored carbon dioxide, further contributing to climate change. And natural climatic variability influences by factors like ocean currents and solar radiation, worsen climate change impacts, leading to more frequent and intense extreme weather events. And the last one is mitigating climate change requires coordinated actions, including emission reduction, sustainable land use practices, and adaptation strategies, supported by international collaboration and evidence-based policies. So to add on to that supporting evidence, research paper on heat waves Peninsula Malaysia by Muhammad Khairul Itlan Muhammad. This study examines trends to heat wave features across Peninsula Malaysia using temperatures data from 1950 to 2022 and population data from 2020 to 2020. Finding reveals spatial patterns of heat waves, identifying southwest region as particularly vulnerable, emphasizing the importance of targeted adaptations initiatives. And the challenges were escalating trends of rising temperatures and heat waves in Peninsula Malaysia attributed to global warming. Effects including threats to public health, infrastructure strain, distributions in agriculture, and economic instability. Comprehensive approach needed to address short-term adaptive measures and long-term mitigation strategies to mitigate adverse impacts. So now I'll move on to the next presenter.
Okay, so I'll be talking about the problem statement. The first part is highlighting the problem statement. So it basically is rising temperatures that causes more, let's say, harm to the ecosystem and stability. food insecurity, and water scarcity, with the future prediction indicating further worsening of these climate-related issues. And the second is what needs to be done to solve it. Greenhouse gas emissions or heat is trapped in the Earth's atmosphere, and we should encourage renewable energy resources such as solar energy, wind energy, hydropower to in place of these fossil fuels. Number two is shift in utilization, where the government should support environmentally friendly farming methods to reduce deforestation, safeguard nature habitats, and improve soil health. And number three would be to maintain essential ecosystem to increase resistance to climate change. It's basically creating a framework that is resistant to extreme weather and climate swings, preserving and restoring ecosystems that contribute to climate regulation, such as mangroves, wetlands, and natural habitats. And finally, number three is why is our research necessary? One, it is to educate future generation to better the overall public society and to improve global wellness. And it is also to foster international collaboration, cooperation that would benefit everybody. And next would be to talk about our main research questions. Why, like, well, what tactics does expertise use to solve problems caused by climate change and its impact on sustainability? Basically, like what kind of tactics, technological advancements, or social reforms may the generation of personnel with exceptional technical expertise should employ to solve these problems? Number two would be what issue might surface in the absence of understanding and on action to combat global warming. Like we should look at the distinctive projects and arts that the community at large may create to spur behavior, raise understanding, and change how people view the planet. And finally, number three, consider an age where cultures everywhere accept radical transformation in beliefs, values, and lifestyle, which leads to our question, in a culture embracing radical change to combat climate change, what are the effects of effective climate control? That is all from me. Thank you.
So now I'll be presenting. The first objective would be to investigate the effectiveness of various strategies aimed at mitigating and controlling effects. Second would be across communities, emphasizing vulnerable populations. Finally, would be evaluate the impact of climate change.
Navinesh, we can hear you.
Hello, now can you hear?
It's a bit slow.
Now, how about now?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'll restart again. So the objective of the study would be to investigate the effectiveness of various strategies aimed at mitigating and controlling climate change impacts. The second would be explore the social and economic issues caused by climate change across communities globally, emphasizing vulnerable populations and their resilient strategies. And finally, would be evaluate the impact of climate change control measures on key environmental indicators, socioeconomic factors, and global sustainability metrics to assess the effectiveness and efficiency of existing strategies and inform future policy decisions. Moving on to the next slide, please. Moving on to the hypothesis suggests that advanced technologies like solar farms, reforestation, and electric vehicles can greatly cut carbon emissions, boost biodiversity, and clean the air. If these solutions are expanded and tailored to local conditions, they can significantly aid in tackling climate change and achieving sustainable development goals, especially in sensitive and urban regions. The next would be this hypothesis posits that by 2050, bespoke climate change strategies in Africa addressing its distinct challenges and mitigate issues like ecosystem disruption, food and water scarcity. It underlines the role of sustainable agriculture, resilient infrastructure, and emission cuts in enhancing Africa's capacity to handle future climate impacts, contrasting with outcomes without such measures. Investigating the problems and implementing the strategies to control climate change can give a positive impact to the world. That's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter.
So to move on with the significance of study, for convincing the reader, climate harmony framework effectively addresses climate change by considering social, economic and environmental factors together, showing the importance of cohesive plan for collaboration. For communication of enthusiasm and confidence, this study communicates about climate harmony's potential to revolutionize climate change mitigation and adaptation. It emphasizes the power of collective action and highlights its comprehensive approach. For the separate section or integrated introduction, a, a distinct significant section emphasizes climate harmony's unique contribution, bridging research and application to spark interest and influence future studies and policies. For contribution of the study, by promoting climate harmony, this study offers a fresh perspective on climate change, emphasizing cooperation and balance among stakeholders for more effective global responses. And lastly, improvement of managerial response. Climate harmony principles encourage integrated strategies for organization, enhancing resilience against climate risk and promoting cooperation between traditionally separate divisions. Thank you. That is all from me.
So as for the research methodology, we use, as for the research approach, we used a comprehensive literature review and qualitative analysis. As for the research technique, we use a survey technique. Research tool, we use Google Forms and Excel. Research sample, our research mostly covered in around UTP, which is mainly UTP students. Our sample size for this research is 31 respondents. So as per our findings, this is our descriptive analysis. It shows the mean, standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, minimum, maximum, sum, and count. So this is all the descriptive analysis that we could get. We could extract from the Excel for the three variables: strategies, problems, and impacts. As for this slide, it shows the mean and standard deviation for variables. So the table presents respondents' perceptions of climate change for the three variables. As you can see, these are the bar graph for the mean and standard deviation for three of our variables, independent and dependent variables. So this bar here shows the scatter plot that we could extract also from Excel. It illustrates the relationship between problem severity, the problem variable, and the impact variable, with higher impact ratings typically observed for more severe problems. We also have another scatter plot, which is for the strategies and impact relationship. So this scatter plot visualizes the relationship between strategies and impacts, showing how different strategies can affect corresponding impacts. As you can see, this scatter plot is much more get together rather than the impact. So yeah, that's all for our findings and discussion. As for the regression statistics and ANOVA, we did make it, but we didn't include in the slides, but we included in our report. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
To conclude, the study on climate change in Peninsular Malaysia underscores the urgent need for innovative, integrated strategies that embrace climate harmony, balancing environmental, social, and economic aspects. Current methods are insufficient, particularly affecting vulnerable groups. It advocates for comprehensive, community-focused actions that consider the socio-economic impacts, aiming to build resilience and sustainability. Stakeholders are urged to adopt a unified, proactive approach to ensure a resilient and sustainable future in the face of climate challenges. Thank you.
So we're done, right?
Yep.
I can stop recording.
Okay.
I can stop recording, right?
Yeah.
Still record.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Right.
LP.